Hello, my name is Dr. Susan Madsen, and I'm the founding director of the Utah Women in Leadership Project, which is hosted at Utah State University. And I'm also the USU Extension Professor of Leadership. Now, before I dive in to share details about A Bolder Way Forward, I want to note that the UWLP has the mission of strengthening the impact of Utah girls and women. Now, our three areas of focus include first, producing relevant, trustworthy, and applicable research, second, creating and gathering valuable resources, and third, convening trainings and events that inform, inspire, and ignite growth and change for all Utahns. The UWLP is housed with me as part of my faculty research and societal impact work within Utah State University Extension. Now, I'm pleased to tell you more about one of UWLP's initiatives, or I have called it through the years a movement, that we have been rolling out across the state of Utah the last several years. It's called A Bolder Way Forward, and it is a 7-year movement from 2023 to 2030. Before this initiative, I personally was restless considering ways that we can shift things for Utah girls and women faster. And I'm not alone. So many of our partners and collaborators in Utah have been feeling the same. Now, what we know is this. National and statewide studies continue to show that women and girls in Utah are not thriving in critical areas. Year after year, Utah continues to have high levels of domestic violence, sexual assault, child sexual abuse, and gender-based discrimination, while also ranking as the worst state for women's equality and having low levels of women's leadership representation in nearly all domains. Now, although the needle has moved slightly, ever so slightly, in a few areas, with its current trajectory, it will take 3 to 4 decades to make notable progress. It is time for Utah to embrace a bolder way forward. When we lift Utah girls and women, we actually lift all Utahns. Now, if we're serious about ensuring that Utah women and girls thrive, we need to create change by 2030. This includes embracing bold goals that have been created by experts and researchers around the state. This also includes a shift, where possible, from measuring outputs to measuring outcomes. Instead of just measuring the stuff that we do and what we accomplish, UWLP is focused on measuring what changes in society. So I read this book in 2022, How Change Happens, Why Some Social Movements Succeed While Others Do Not. And it inspired me. I've been a societal change scholar for years, and this really reframed the way I was thinking about things. And basically, it looked at movements like Mothers Against Drunk Driving, gay marriage, tobacco use, and so forth. And then they were very successful, and then looked at others that, even if they had a lot of money, were not successful, and really laid out what were the differences in moving forward something in society that will actually change lives successfully. I strongly recommend reading that book if you want to be engaged and be part of the solutions. Read the book. To do this shift the way that the book outlined, it is really utilizing systems thinking, which is the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Systems are made up of interrelated, interdependent parts, but they cannot be understood as a function of isolated components. Although each part needs to be working well, a system cannot be understood by focusing only on what each part is doing. It needs to consider the relationship among the parts so that all work together in more powerful ways. And this is the key to more boldly advancing a common cause. Now, in Utah, we have been working hard on related efforts and pieces and parts for the last number of decades, using really that part strategy, but not moving together as a system. In systems thinking, movement leaders act as part of a larger network and position themselves to enable the parts of the system around them to succeed. While the UWLP is the backbone entity for this effort, hundreds of individuals and organizations are also leading by bringing together those who are already doing related work or who want to make a difference. This systems approach is based on what's called networked leadership, where strategic partnerships and alliances across sectors are critical for change. The relationship among leaders is important, as is bringing together all who want to engage and work together for the common good. Now, using the metaphor of a wheel, the Boulder Way Forward system or vehicle of change, moving up a hill, the work of a Boulder Way Forward is to be a vehicle of change for Utah women and girls. The road is uphill, and there are currently lots of potholes. Many individuals, groups, and organizations have provided programs, efforts, and initiatives that help make the road smoother, but they have not been pulled together as a system. So in this model, there are 18 Boulder Way Forward spokes, areas of focus that fall into 5 broader categories. Now, each spoke, a key topic area where change is needed, is also a movement that makes the whole greater than the sum of the parts. Effective work within each of those 18 areas of focus is needed to create more expansive and cohesive changes overall towards the bold goals for 2030. Now, although not illustrated on the rim, we envision belonging and allyship integrated across each spoke area. Individuals within specific communities, like 50 plus thriving, disabilities, interfaith, LGBTQ plus, race, ethnicity, and male allyship, remain top of mind and integrated into the Boulder Way Forward work. We encourage community leaders and residents to work from the middle to help coordinate efforts to stay aligned with the mission. In addition, because of the critical nature of leading from the grassroots in societal change efforts, UWLP works with individuals and entities in all 29 counties to ensure they have the latest research, resources, and tools needed for positive change in their communities. We encourage collectives of individuals and organizations at the local level to be connected through networks that work within their own contexts. Leaders throughout the state can, among other elements, share research and resources, provide the vision of systems thinking to decision makers, assist in locating local and statewide data, access tools and resources that may assist work at any level, and then make informed decisions and drive change. The overarching goal of a Boulder Way Forward is to make Utah a place where more girls, women, and families can thrive in any setting. Although there is not one metric that can assess and measure this overarching goal, UWLP and Boulder Way Forward leaders have crafted powerful goals for each area of focus, with most being linked to measurable outcomes. These data are updated at least annually and are available on visual dashboards. Showing progress towards goals and tracking changes over time is critical for success. This type of comprehensive, in-depth examination and effort has not been done in any other state or country. So Utah and UWLP are leading the way with such a unique initiative. Now, to implement both goals in each area of focus, a mix of tools are needed, including advocacy, communication, and messaging shifts, education, mentoring, sponsorship initiatives, networking, philanthropy, public policy, research, resources, training and development, and so much more. I love this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Every society has its protectors of the status quo and its fraternities of the indifferent who are notorious for sleeping through revolutions. Today, our very survival depends on our ability to stay awake, to adjust to new ideas, to remain vigilant, and to face the challenge of change. I do feel like most of us have been sleeping, and we need to wake up and stay awake, and we need to wake others up. We must get our violence rates down, our opportunities up, and our gender gaps narrowed. The status quo is no longer good enough, and it never has been. But now, today, we can do something about it. Thriving depends on it. And for some, their lives depend on it. We must work together to face the challenge of change with everyone's voice mattering equally. We must work together for the common good. In summary, the primary aim of A Bolder Way Forward is to help more Utah girls, women, and families thrive in any setting, home, workplace, congregation, community, whatever. Utahns thrive when all aspects of their safety, security, health, and well-being are met, allowing them to explore and pursue educational, professional, civic, leadership, and other opportunities according to their interests, and to feel abundant levels of support and a sense of belonging as they do so. Utah must do better to ensure everyone thrives. And our vision is not to lift girls and women at the expense of boys and men. That's the scarcity mentality. Instead, we believe there's enough for everyone through cooperation and collaboration, the abundance mentality. The UWLP's vision is that when we lift Utah girls and women, we lift all Utahns. We are creating change so that Utah girls, women, and families can thrive. I do love Utah, but things need to shift. With the work we can do together, I truly believe that Utah can become the national leader in how to implement positive change for girls, women, and families. But to do this, we need you. So I welcome you to join A Bolder Way Forward for Utah. Thank you.